Hey guys, and welcome back to Smart Money Minds. It is Thanksgiving weekend in 2021 for Americans. So happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers, and Black Friday as well. And don't miss the video that I have published out about the S&P 500, talking about the fire sale that is happening for the S&P 500. But in this video here, I'm going to go over a couple of stocks, which is two, that I have quite a lot of interest in this coming week. Now, as you see here, we have Woods of ARK buying more Zoom amid the slump on the growth concerns. So this week we had the new variant of COVID come in, and we had a lot of selling. But we got this news as well, where Cathie Woods of ARK, the investment firm, they're buying more Zoom. So why are they buying more Zoom? Actually, before we look at the chart, let's take a look at what Cathie Woods sees in this company, or Zoom, and what she's thinking is that they believe that in the first time in decades that the communication system in the world is going to be replaced. So people think it's just a simple video chat service, but it's not. It's becoming a unified communication system. Now, Cathie's picked up another $133 million worth of shares as they closed 15% down to their lowest since June of 2020. Looking at the chart, there was a very interesting reaction, because what happened was we had we had surprise earnings, which was positive, but we had a negative reaction. However, because of the Cathie news, it got gapped up and it immediately got sold off for the rest of the day, because likely due to the COVID variant. But that's very interesting as well, because you would think that work from home stocks would be driving up with this news. But what I do see here is that this did pretty much gap fill in this range. So it gapped up, it filled the gap here, and now it's selling off and filling this gap right over here as well. So we really have to see what's going to happen this coming week. But what has me interested on Zoom here is, afterwards we look at the weekly time frame sheet, the time frame here. We are approaching, if we pull the Fibonacci, we broke the golden pocket here, but we are approaching the 0.786, and which also lines up right over here at around 180, right in the zone here, 181, 190 zone. So this area is a zone of support. The last zone of support was right over here around the 240 range, which it broke with some impact right over here due to just poor earnings, or not poor earnings, but due to negative earnings reaction. However, what I do like is that in the shorter time frame, well, not even short, it's a weekly time frame, we have this sort of falling wedge, which I don't really love, but let's see if we can pull this line over here and pull this line up above here. Now we got pretty solid touches all around. We got 4 solid touches right on this trend line here, this upper trend line, and we got 4 touches here on this lower trend line, and it is actually hitting the low of this trend line right now. And on the weekly, you see how it dipped, touched the trend line, and it got bought up. Now we got some decent bear volume here, but I like how we could anticipate a play where we start coming back up. We could set a higher low, and we could touch this upper trend line around the 300, 305 range, and that's what I would anticipate this stock to go if we continue this trend line. So if we get that move, this is a good, 38% if you're patient enough to see if this move will work out. And that's what I'm anticipating because of this new COVID variant forcing people to work from home again. And also we have Kathy buying up some stocks. So these two catalyst news, I would imagine, help the stock push back up for at least a lower high in this range. But we do have to be cautious because, as you see, it is in a longer term downtrend. So make sure you do have a tight stop because it could continue to fail. And as I said, the next support is around the 180 range. So it could fail here and continue to head down to the 180 range, 170 range before we get a bounce move. The second chart I have my eyes on is XPEV. So Xpeng here, which is a Chinese EV startup company. What it is doing that I really like on the technical time frame is, check this out here. This was pretty much a pennant this entire way across. We did have a break here, but we had a doji and we actually got pushed back up and it stayed within this pennant quite well. Now, I've identified two key support resistance area of confluences in this range here. So 51, so I would say around 49 to 51. As you see here, multiple touches in this zone. Right over here, multiple touches in this zone. And look at the last bull flag here. We had a tightening range. And on earnings, we got increasing bull volume, breaking right over the zone. It is sitting in the zone right now, but it is looking promising. We had pretty weak bear volume, even though the market was selling off. So that's a really good sign. Now, the other area of support is right over here around the 39 to 42 range here. So you see how this tightened up real good here before we had this breakout. So this is another area of support. So what we have here is we can always look for an entry here in this zone. And what I would do is I would probably set a first stop around this zone here where this pennant is. So if it comes back down and tests, we're not going to get stopped out. We're going to hopefully get this bounce move from the zone. And if you want to have a little more risk, then I would suggest you have your stop around the $40 range where it comes back down to this zone. But if it does come back to this zone, this is a very good buying opportunity in this zone. But what I am anticipating is that there is a lack of resistance until the $60 range. So it could hit the $60 range, and the next resistance is 75. So this is not out of the question, because if we start getting some bull volume kicking in, it could drive up the prices within a week. It could run up, 30-40% if we get some volume to support this move on this technical breakout. Now, a little bit more on the news driven side for XPEV here. We have it's the fastest vehicle to reach 20,000 deliveries of any Chinese EV. We have an annual tech day for them. We had positive earnings for them. There's a lot, and they're looking to, they've more than doubled their volume as well in their sales. So we're looking very good in terms of even fundamentals of this company. Lastly, I just really love how there's increasing bull volume into this resistance zone. That's a very promising sign, and as we break out of this, we may not even need that much volume to continue to push it up to the $60 to the $75 zone. And if this move hits $75 again to a new all-time high, that's another 37% on this move that you could capture. Now, in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on Zoom and on how Kathy Wood is picking up this stock, and also on XPEV. On, do you think that this stock could become, or this company could become, the next Neo in China, and does it have a chance to compete with them? I'd love to hear your guys' opinion, but make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel below, and we'll see you guys next time for more stock videos.